It's the gray bird, the slim one on your fence post, the one that flashes white on its wings when it flies, your mockingbird. At 6:02 on a Saturday morning, while you carry the trash to the curb in your slippers, it is watching you. Not the trash, not the yard, you, your face, specifically, personally. And here is what almost nobody knows. That bird could pick you out of a crowd of 1,000 strangers. It could find your face in a packed stadium. It knows you, as an individual, the way you'd know a neighbor down the street. So why? Why would a wild bird bother to learn one human face out of all of them? There is a reason, and it is not the warm one you're hoping for. I'm going to tell you exactly what your mockingbird has decided about you, whether you passed or whether you didn't. But not yet. First, you need to see how it learned you in the first place, because the speed of it is the part that should unsettle you. Stay with me. Most people think birds see us as one big blur, a vague, giant shape that fills the feeder and walks away. They have never been more wrong. Some of the birds in your yard see you as sharply as you see them. They tell people apart, they remember, and they decide. This isn't about who brings the food. It's deeper, stranger, and far more personal than that. Subscribe to Backyard Bird Whisper before you leave, because what you are about to learn has changed the way thousands of people see the yard outside their window. Here is where we are going. You'll learn how fast a wild mockingbird can memorize a single human face. The answer is faster than you'd believe, and faster than you could ever do it back. You'll meet the other birds in your yard that are quietly keeping track of you too. You're not nearly as anonymous as you think, and you'll find out what your mockingbird has actually concluded about you, the verdict it reached without you ever knowing there was a trial. That last one is going to change how you walk out your own back door. Let's start with the study that proved it, because the numbers are almost hard to believe. In 2009, researchers at the University of Florida ran a simple test. A single person walked up to a mockingbird's nest, touched the edge of it for a few seconds, and walked away. The same person, 4 days in a row. By the third day, the birds knew him. Not a human is near. Him. They came at him sooner and harder, scolding and dive-bombing the moment he appeared, while letting total strangers walk right past, untouched. Let me put that in plain words. The birds learned one specific man's face after less than a minute of contact, spread over a couple of days. That study was published in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences, one of the most respected science journals on Earth. Now picture the campus where they did it. Tens of thousands of people walking past those nests every single day. Students, staff, strangers, an ocean of faces. And the mockingbirds picked out the one that mattered. Stop. Read that again. Out of tens of thousands of humans, a bird that weighs about as much as 2 AA batteries remembered the single face that had bothered its nest. After under a minute. That is not instinct. Instinct is blind. It treats every human the same. This was the opposite. This was the bird choosing one face out of the crowd and locking onto it. You could not learn a stranger's face that fast. Your mockingbird can, and it already has, with yours. Here is what makes this so strange. Your mockingbird is not the only one watching. Start with your cardinal. That red male has memorized your yard down to the inch. He knows where the feeder hangs, when it fills, and the exact shape of the window you watch from. He learns your rhythm, the slam of your back door, the scrape of the seed scoop. To him, those sounds mean safety, or food, or danger, and he has them all sorted. He may not study your face the way the mockingbird does, but make no mistake. He has built a map of your habits, and you are on it. Your cardinal knows your schedule better than some of your coworkers do, but knowing your routine is one thing. The next bird remembers something far harder, because your chickadee has a memory that should not fit inside its head. That tiny bird hides food, thousands of seeds, tucked into thousands of separate spots across your yard and the yards around it, and it remembers where. Weeks later, each one. How? In the fall, A chickadee's brain physically grows. The part that handles memory swells with fresh cells, right when the hardest season arrives, then shrinks again in spring. Scientists call it neurogenesis, the growing of brand new brain. Let that land. The bird at your feeder grows itself a bigger memory every winter, just to survive. A creature that can track thousands of hidden seeds under snow can certainly keep track of one thing. You, the large, warm shape that runs the feeder. Your cardinal mapped your habits. Your chickadee could map 1,000 of them. But the next bird does something neither of them can. It holds a grudge. Meet your blue jay. Loud, blue, and brilliant. Jays belong to the same family as crows and ravens, the corvids, widely considered the smartest birds alive. A jay can learn individual human faces, just like the mockingbird. But a jay does something that should make you sit up. A jay remembers how you treated it, kindness or cruelty, and it does not keep that memory to itself. In their close cousins, the crows, a bird that has one bad run-in with a person will scold that exact face for years, and teach other birds to scold it too. The grudge spreads through the whole flock. A human face becomes a known enemy to birds that never even met you. Your jay is taking notes, and it talks. So that is 3 birds in your yard, all keeping a quiet file on you. But none of them, not one, does what the mockingbird does. Here it comes, the star of the show. Your mockingbird. Start with its name. The scientific name means many-tongued, and it earns every letter. A single male can learn over 200 different songs across his life. He copies other birds. He copies frogs, car alarms, squeaky gates, barking dogs, and he keeps adding new ones until the day he dies. A brain that can store and replay 200 songs is a serious machine. It is not just memory. It is a mind built to notice tiny differences and hold on to them. The exact skill you need to tell one face from another, and it is pointed straight at you. The mockingbird doesn't just notice you. It studies you. It learns the real shape of your face, not your jacket, not your hat. In Florida, the birds singled out their man even as those details changed. It was the face they knew, and once it learns you, it keeps you. For seasons, maybe for life. Right now, tonight, there is a bird outside your window that knows your face better than half the people you passed at the store today. But why? Why spend all that memory on you? Here's the part I promised, and it changes everything. Remember what I promised at the start? What your mockingbird decided about you? Here it is. It did not learn your face out of love. In study after study, the birds learned the faces of people who threatened the nest. The intruder. The danger. That is what fires up a mockingbird's memory. Not affection, suspicion. So sit with this. Your mockingbird has been running a test on you. Every time you stepped into the yard, it was watching to see what kind of human you are, safe or a threat. And here is the twist that flips the whole thing. If your mockingbird is calm around you, if it sits on the post and sings while you garden, if it never scolds or dives, that calm is not indifference. It's a verdict. You were watched, assessed, filed, and cleared. The bird decided you are not a danger. That peaceful little moment between you and the gray bird on the fence, you earned it. You passed a test you never knew you were taking. The mockingbird that seems to ignore you is not ignoring you at all. It knows exactly who you are. It has simply decided you're allowed. So let me tell you what that means for you. You are not a blur to your birds. You are not just the human. You are a known individual. A specific face in a specific yard that a wild animal chose to learn and remember. Think about how rare that is. A creature with no reason to care about you. One that could treat every person as the same gray threat. Looked closely enough to learn you. Just you. And decided you were worth knowing. A wild animal with the entire sky to choose from decided your yard was worth coming back to. And then it went one step further. It learned your face, You passed. They chose you. And then they remembered you. That quiet bond you feel when the mockingbird lets you walk right under its branch. It is not in your head. It is mutual. It is real. In its own wild way, the bird knows something about you too. Recognition. Trust, even. You became a familiar face in a life that has almost no use for strangers. You are not watching a stranger out there. You are being recognized by a wild creature that has decided, out of every person on earth, that you are safe. That is not nothing. That is actually quite extraordinary. And it means the way you act in your own yard matters more than you ever thought. So here is how to pass that test, and stay past. 1. Move slowly near the nest. From late spring through summer, if a mockingbird is nesting in one of your shrubs, keep at least 10 feet back and slow your movements right down. Quick, looming motion near a nest reads as a threat, and that is exactly what gets your face filed as the enemy. Move gently, and you stay on the safe list. 2. Offer the food they actually want. Mockingbirds barely touch seed. They want fruit. Put out halved grapes, raisins soaked soft in water, or a few blueberries on a flat dish or a low platform. Real food, they recognize, builds a real, repeated bond. And every visit teaches the bird that your face means safety. 3. Be consistent, and be the same person every time. Use the same door. Walk the same path. Birds trust patterns. The more predictable you are, the faster a mockingbird files you as harmless and known. You are training trust, one ordinary morning at a time. 3 small things: slow movements, the right food, a steady routine. None of them feel like much. Together they tell a wild, watchful bird the single most important thing it can learn about you: that you are safe. So tomorrow morning at 6:02, when you carry the trash to the curb and the gray bird is on the fence post watching, look back at it. It knows your face. You know that now. Remember the grudge I mentioned? The memory these birds don't keep to themselves? That cuts both ways. A mockingbird that learns you are safe can carry that for years. The trust you build this spring can still be there 3 summers from now. In the same bird, on the same post. It remembers the kind ones just as surely as the cruel ones. So the next time it sits there and simply lets you pass, calm, unbothered, singing, understand what you are seeing. That is a wild animal telling you, in the only way it can, that it knows exactly who you are, and it's glad it's you. The window looks the same. It isn't. Subscribe to Backyard Bird Whisper, because the most extraordinary wildlife on Earth is not in a jungle or a nature documentary. It is 12 feet from your kitchen window. Before you go, one more thing. Tonight, after dark, while your whole street sleeps, something is going to pass directly over your roof. Not one bird, millions of them. Moving through total darkness in near silence, steering by something invisible in the sky above your house. You will never see them, but they are up there almost every night of spring and fall, in numbers that would stop your heart. That's next. I will see you there. Tell me in the comments, does the mockingbird in your yard treat you differently than it treats strangers? I want to hear your story. I read every single one. These are the stories I carry longest.